First episode here at 88's in
We're
Noda.
here. Beautiful space.
Yeah, we've got to do a couple of events here before, so I love the space. So I'm glad that we get to come back. Thank you, Dan and the team. Let's kick it off. How about this? For this podcast, I'm going to open up by learning about you, and then we'll talk about my journey and what the podcast is.
Yep.
So, photographer, videographer now. How'd that come about? How'd you get into it? Tell me the story.
Yeah. So, when I was 16, Mom bought me a camera on Mother's Day. Shout out, Mom. And kind of just like dove into taking a bunch of portraits of my friends. Like, was obsessed with, all of the Instagram trends, the like blurry backgrounds. Just followed all the trendy stuff back in the day. Like, being a photographer was cool whenever I started shooting photos. So, and Instagram was blowing up, so I wanted a piece of that. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, ended up doing like a bunch of like travel photography, really just like capturing photos of my friends when we go on day trips. We spend a lot of times in the mountains. Being here in North Carolina, we're hop, skip, and a jump to a lot of really cool reviews. So really spent a lot of time just like traveling and taking photos of my friends. Was pretty good at it, but like didn't make any money. Just kind of doing it as a hobby. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, I was like, I think that I could actually do something with this, and take it a little further than it just being a hobby. So started shooting family photos, weddings, all the basic photographer stuff that you do.
Is that where all photographers start, or like?
I think that
primary?
like probably shooting like families and like baby pictures and graduations is probably where people start
For money.
Because it's so accessible and everyone wants photos. Especially like if you live near a college campus, like there's always graduation shoots to be done, and then like high schoolers are always wanting, families always want pictures of their kids graduating high school. So I think that's kind of like where most entry-level photographers start, just because it is so accessible, and you don't have to charge a ton of money, so you can get like just reps learning. So did that for a few years. I didn't enjoy doing it, kind of fell back into just shooting for fun, as like traveling and all the nature stuff, and then spent a few years like not really shooting, just kind of traveling for fun and not really bringing my camera out ever. It wasn't until like the last 3 years I started bringing it back out for workout events, and kind of fell back in love with the creative process, shooting sports, and like people lifting, people doing CrossFit, now high rocks. That's kind of like what made me kind of fall back in love with the, just creating like images in the first place. QCA, of course, is a huge part of that, which transitioned into Aura, which transitioned into everything else that I'm doing today. That's kind of where it all came from and came up. And the videography, of course, came later.
Yeah, I remember when you approached us at QCA. For those who don't know, I created a group called QC Athletes, where it's a free workout group once a month. And Chris attended first.
Almost died.
I remember that. You were across from me. We were doing 10-minute sit-ups, and everyone thought I was joking when I pitched it. And you were, again, it was a giant circle. There's probably 30 people. And we're all just going in a circle all at the same time. And I look, and you just look at me like dead stare. Hated your life.
Hungover as could be.
I remember that.
I think it was like after Halloween. It was like after a Halloween bar crawl.
There was like 3 people that threw up that event.
Yeah, it was
I remember
horrible.
that. It was a tough one.
Extremely
and it was
hungover.
rainy.
I was dying. I like hadn't really like I've been rock climbing, but I hadn't been like running or like doing all the endurance stuff.
Yeah.
So like hopping into an endurance workout like that after basically not doing any endurance sports whatsoever, I wanted to pass away.
Yeah. And after that,
I was miserable all week. I'm pretty sure I was sore for like 2 weeks after that.
We've had a few people say that.
Yeah, I was
especially when
bad.
we pull out like the 100-yard bear crawl or something like that.
Yeah,
people
not
are
a
like,
chance.
Wait, are you serious? There's one time we did all the way around a football field.
Yeah, could be me.
That was terrible. I had to do that one. That one sucked. But I remember we were like, hey, I would love to shoot photos for this, and we don't have a budget, free group.
Yeah.
So I was like, please, that would be awesome. Everyone would love that. And I've already seen your travel photography and stuff that you've already done. And God, I feel like everyone jumped on that. Like once you started putting out the photos, everyone was like, please get more, shoot me. I remember some of our friends specifically, they're like, I love the shots you get of me. Please focus on me in this next event or whatever it is. And they put it everywhere. It was on social media. It
Yeah,
was,
and that was like kind of my like whole idea behind it. I was like, my Instagram had kind of gone silent because I hadn't really been posting. Not that I was getting like a ton of engagement in the first place, but like with the way the Instagram algorithm changed over the years, as you could post a photo and get, ton of engagement, ton of comments, ton of likes, and like meet a bunch of new people. But as the algorithm changed, I was like, wasn't meeting any new people. I was like, I was just seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. So I was like, if I come in here and I shoot this, probably get some pretty good engagement from it, and in doing this, get my name out there a little bit more, and experiment with a new like subject matter, and in return maybe turn this into a business if possible, right?
I thought it was the smartest thing because, like you said, you're building your portfolio, you're getting your name out there and exposure, and because everyone not only loves photos of themselves in fitness when it's professionally done. I mean, who wouldn't want that? They post it, they tag you, they push it out like just eyes.
Yeah.
And then flash forward. I don't even know when you pitched this, but I remember it was a September, maybe later that year.
Yeah, I think it was a year, like almost a year to the month. Yeah. I did photos for, whenever I was in town, I did photos for QCA.
And then you were like, let's do video.
Yeah, I always wanted to shoot video growing up, but I just never I bought like a video camera when I was younger, but I never spent the time to actually learn how to properly expose, or how to didn't know anything about indie filters, or I just didn't know how to use the camera.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just as simple as going out there and hitting a button and then putting it, I thought it was gonna be easy. It wasn't. When I was 22, I didn't really try that hard. Wasn't easy. And then as I got older, I was like, okay, I think that I could actually devote some time and energy into learning how to do this, and what better way to do it than people are already comfortable with me here, right? And you guys already trust me with the photos, so I was like, I think that'd be cool if I were to come out here and shoot a video for you guys and I fucked it up, you wouldn't be that mad at me, right? It's there's nothing, you're not investing anything into it except time, really.
Yeah. It's completely free, and you're willing to do it on your own.
Yeah, I was let's just see how it happens. So the first video I shot was in the following September. I think the previous year, October, I did the first workout. I said never again. The next month I shot photos, and then a year from that month, I think I was like, hey, I bought a video camera, let me try this out.
Yeah.
And that first video did cool. I think it's still the most watched video on the QCA page, which is nuts because I look back at it now and I'm like, that thing was garbage.
I think it was 20K views.
Yeah,
which something like that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, both not only that you did a teaser, which was 15, 20 seconds, then a true highlight, which was probably about 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Both of them, I think, were about around 20.
Yeah,
one was over 21, I think it was about 20.
And, I think that I don't really care about the viewers. I don't really care about the likes, engagement, but it's I think that video doing so well, with it being my first one, kind of kick-started my confidence to dive into video more, right? Because I was like, oh shit, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I did this and people cared, or they supported. So I was like, oh sweet. I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep using QCA to learn, right? Yeah. Every single month I think I did 2 more months of photos, and then the videographer who was doing it every month moved.
Yeah.
And then once he moved, I was like, okay, I think I want to do this every month. I just have so much more fun shooting videos, and the creative process behind building an edit is a lot more rewarding than just pushing out 100 photos with the same filter on all of them. It's I build the LUTs by hand. I created the look by hand, but it got redundant and repetitive every single month. It was and you're shooting the same workout in the same field. It's I shot a year's worth of photos there, and every single photo looks the same, if you ask me, right? The edit changes from month to month, kind of, but it's the same subject matter and it never looks different. So I was starting to get bored, right? And I was okay, I can be more creative doing video. I was in the future, I want to do video, that's where I was my passion was leading me, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just took QCA as an opportunity to each month. My goal was to every single edit I put out have a new either transition or a new effect or sound design. Something was going to be new in each video that I hadn't done before. And so my whole goal was okay, this month I learned how to do this. Next month I'm going to use this technique, and then the next month, and then I'm also going to put a new one in. Yeah. So each video had a little bit of everything I had learned from the month before. Until the very end of the last QCA video I shot was a kind of a culmination of everything I'd learned and everything I'd done into one video.
Yeah.
So that's how I used QCA to kind of learn,
Well, I remember after the first one that you did, that first video in September, we were opening the gym in October and we needed pre-marketing. So Allie and I, wife and I, we were like, do you want to do this campaign idea? It was 5 different people and their workout. Well, sorry, their personal and then their workout. And it would be a professional or personal, whatever it was they were doing, and then in the gym, because we had access to the gym and equipment at that time. And we had 5 individual videos of people, and then 1 combination. And I remember thinking that was so well done. But each video that you did, because it was you shoot one person, then maybe a week later shoot the next person, and so on, or day later, whatever it was, you got better and better and better at editing just those 6 videos.
Right. Yeah.
So in a small amount of time, it felt like you were learning so fast and making all these what seemed like leaps and bounds of changes to your videos. And then obviously Allie and I were like, it's a no-brainer. Let's like sign him as our photographer and videographer. And we both came up with the same idea pretty much at the same time. And it's been smooth sailing ever since.
It's been smooth sailing. It's been fun. And like I even look back, like, I was only a little over a year ago, maybe like a little under a year and a half ago is when we started doing the content for Oro. And like even looking back to like the stuff I was doing then, if you just compare that to the stuff that we did 2 months later, it's like, I mean, I think with like any new skill that you learn, right? Like you have this like, I think the first year you learn so much, and you there's just so much information, new information that you can take in. And it's like basic stuff that you learn really quickly. So like your quality can go up really quickly, right? And I think that after you learn all the basics, like how to use your software, how to color grade, how to sound design, like you can start to plateau a little bit, because it's like you've learned so much so quick, and now the hard stuff you start learning, right? Like, and that's like, and that could be like a stylistic thing, like pacing in a video, like dialing in your own color grade instead of using like your own LUTs, like instead of just pulling sound from like a sound library online, you're going and like recording your own sound library, and like and like even like storytelling, right? You spend a lot more time maybe not shooting and spending more time developing a story, or like, you know, doing the pre-production stuff.
Anytime we storyboard, I feel like it's a lot of fun.
It's always better
doing that.
It's anytime you can like plan a story out and like you go into a shoot with intention.
You're not just free flowing a shot.
And like and of course there's a time and place to free flow, right? Like for event videography and like highlight videos, it's like, you can go into a space where you can work out and shoot and probably put together a pretty sick edit in, you know, a few hours. But when you bring in talent, you bring in, you know, someone to light, you bring in someone like, you know, the recent shoot we did, it's like when you put more time into your planning and less time shooting, you're gonna get a better product. You know. But
I think going to what you said about the first year of how much you learn, at least in my experience too, I feel like that's anything in any kind of business, any kind of realm, anything. I think your first year of learning something, it feels like you're going to the moon. You're learning everything so quick, and then you reach this point where you're like, okay, now is when like the real work starts, and the really like difficult editing techniques. So, you know, just anything with anything, you get really good at the basics really quick. And then once you start getting to the next level, you start to plateau, because it's harder to learn and get good at that stuff quickly. It's like, you know? Business 101 for the first year. I mean, even for us, there's things that we did in the beginning that I don't think I would change anything, because at the time it made sense. But now, 1 year, a little and some change more, being into business and a gym owner, there's so many things I'm like, I won't do that again, or I wouldn't go back and change anything. But now we've evolved. We're in 201 stage where there's more. We have a higher threshold of learning and knowledge. Now what do we do from here? It could be marketing. It could be some of like business structure. Hopefully it's not the whole thing in organization, but there might be like 20% that you change, 10% that you change, and the rest of it you keep as like the strong skeletal foundation of whatever it is. Same thing creatively.
There's a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm like in kind of like shifting how I'm shooting lately. It's like I'm doing less like one-off events. I'm doing like bigger like production days, right? And even now it's like things have happened in the past few months where I'm like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I wish I would have done this differently. But looking back, you also have to be like, okay, I fucked this up, and I'm never gonna fuck that up again because I made that mistake. Like, you have to do the things wrong in order to do them right, you know?
1,000%.
So
there's some things that we look back at in the beginning. We may have made some costly mistakes, and not majorly costly, but $1,000 mistakes. And I'm like, I'm going to triple check everything now and do things differently, or have a keener eye on whatever it is. So I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, there was a shoot we did a few weeks ago, me and my buddy, and shooting a new camera, had a pretty big setup, and in like setting some settings, we burned in a monitoring LUT. It's like what you use when you're looking at the picture. It's like to make sure your exposure, and like how is this going to look once you get it into post. Once you like color correct everything, you're not just getting a flat like there's like like log footage is what I'm talking about. It's like when you shoot in log, it's like super flat. There's no contrast. There's no color. That's to give you the most like flexible file to work with in post. We accidentally burnt in a LUT into that footage, so getting it in post, we're like, shit. It's like the client's never gonna know because it still looks good. But we were like, fuck, man. It's like, but now we fucked up that bad, and now we're never gonna do it again. Right? It's like, okay, we're not touching that setting again.
Right.
So,
learned a lot about you. I don't think I've ever asked like the story of how you even got into it. So
yeah, just following trends.
That's
following
fair.
trends, and then just like I think I feel like I have a decent eye for composition, like by default. Like I think that I like. And I think that's just like because I take in so much content from social media, and there's so many like creators that I follow that I'm like, I model my work after, but I still try to like make it unique and make it my own, right? So I don't want it to be a copycat and just like be repeating people, but
I think that's anything. You take inspiration from others,
inspiration,
and then you find a way to make it your own. I'm sure like people who are creating anything, could be again the business itself, could be creator work, could be an influencer. I'm sure they started off doing all the same trends and things, and then all of a sudden they made it their own and became super authentic. Some people are really good at starting authentically, and I think that puts you way ahead of others because you're not chasing trends or trying to wait for the next thing to come out and be like, I need to do what they're doing and mimic it and then adjust and tweak to whatever I want it to be. It's like I can just do whatever I think is right.
The first few years of like creating like photos, so it was like me and my roommate at the time, we were like, we would see a picture online or like on Tumblr or Pinterest, whatever it was back in the day, and we would be like, let's go do this. We'd go out and try it, and it was like, it's steel wool, right? Everyone did the whole thing where they light steel wool on fire and they spin it around and they have long exposure. And like we shot pictures like that like every night for like 3 months, right? And just did it in different ways. Like we learned how to do the technique, and we would just try it in different ways, right? And it's like with anything for like the first few years, it was like I'd see something I really liked, and I would just try to mimic that style. How did they light this? How did they color this in post? Like how just taking that and learning how people did this stuff helped me as I've gotten older be like, I don't like it doing it this way, but I know how they did it, but let me take the elements that I do like and and flip it in my own direction. And with video, it's like the same thing. It's like I still like, at my core, I still like travel in nature videos, right? Like 2013 Jay Alvarez or like 2016 Sam Colder, like that's still my favorite creators, and those like video types are still my favorite. Like I will always be down to go watch like a vintage travel like hype video, right?
Yeah.
But I don't shoot travel hype videos right now. I shoot fitness, right? So how can I take the elements that I like from the hype videos from back in the day, like all the flashy transitions and stuff, and incorporate that into what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Right.
I feel that.
Just take elements of what you like and push them into your own creative working process. And I think that in doing that, you find that I think I'm in the stage now where it's like I've done all the flashy transitions and bullshit for the past year, and now I'm like, okay, I'm tired of doing that. I want to make my own stories and like just put out good work that I'm proud of, and not trying to take from other people anymore.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
It's just ever evolving process. So
yeah, I'm sure you're gonna continue to learn a lot more. So I'm excited to see what's to come.
I won't stop now.
Yeah, right.
Suck.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. My background.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
Let's start. You're from Chicago.
Chicago. Suburbs of Illinois. Born and raised. I was went to school I went to college for psychology for clinical counseling. I thought I was going to go to the military to go to be an officer and then have them pay for grad school. So I took out a bunch of loans. And that never happened. I went to a recruiter. They sent me to an officer recruiter because I graduated college, and then they sent me to an MP recruiter when I told them I want to be a psychologist in the Air Force or learn how to become one. and radio silence. So I was just kind of like sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I'm like, all right, what should I do? At that same time, I was working as like a server or whatever. I was bartending, serving, bouncing, and all that. And I was attending a gym. It was a UFC gym, one of the franchises. But the one that I went to, they had a lot of great fighters that were amateur and some in the pros. Some people were actually like high-level pros too. One guy was like 27-3, had went to the Contender Series before it turned into Tough, stuff like that, like good names. So I was training with them, and one of the trainers dropped as I was just kind of waiting in limbo of like, what do I do? He was moving to like Dallas, and he's like, do you want to take my classes and clients? You're already kind of learning how to do mitts with friends in the last year that you've been here. And I was writing programs because I had my training cert at that time. And he's like, you could be like the strength and conditioning coach and learn how to do mitts and pads. So it was like, that was me at 22. I think it was 22 or 23. That's when I started at UFC Gym, stayed there for a year. I actually built out really close to full-time, what I consider full-time status. And then my cousin told me, he lived in New York, he told me about Equinox. There's a bunch of them, and it's a very big name. It's like this bougie, personal training heavy, but open gym. And it's like $180 to $200. Now it's north of $200 a month, let alone sessions cost crazy money. So I applied on a whim, didn't think much of it. And I applied for the Chicago location in the Gold Coast. And they give me a call, invite me in. I've been downtown a lot. I was like 45 minutes south of the city where I grew up, so we would go and all that. But I went downtown and took the train in, went to the facility, and it's in this immaculate building. It's in the 900 North Michigan Mall building, and it's in the basement. You walk in, and it is very luxury.
Yeah, it's like very as hell.
Yeah, and I'm like, I was wowed by it walking in. And then sent me down for an interview. It was a one-on-one. Then they had me come back for a group interview, gave me the job. And the reason why I really took it is because they showed me how much trainers can make. Like, trainers were making six figures, and this was 10 years ago. And I was like, you can make six figures as a personal trainer here? Like, that's insane. And they're like, yeah, we have numerous trainers doing that. So that piqued my interest. I came in. Within 6 months is their ramping period to full-time status, which is 100 sessions a month. They sell it like $100+ a session. So that's how I came up with full-time status. And I hit that in 6 months, and a lot of trainers struggle with that. So they really liked me. I got promoted up to like whatever tier. It was like the tier right below the team one, where I didn't want to be on the team. I wanted to stay as my own trainer with my own clients instead of sharing with the team, which the concept's great. I didn't like it in practice. I thought theory made more sense than the actual practical of like, all the trainers are supposed to be different. Like, you're the strength and conditioning, and I'm like the CrossFit coach. This is the nutrition coach, with like elements of training all over. But they all were copy and paste the same person, it felt like. So I just did my individual thing. Became a mentor. They asked me to roll out their mentorship program in Chicago for all their Chicago locations, and I got to pick my mentees or mentors. So I picked like Allie and a bunch of other trainers that were, I think it was like 5 of us, that were going to help the new trainers get to full-time status, because I was able to help other teammates do that. And that's when I started being like, it'd be cool is if I open my own gym. And that was like the dream. Like, I didn't know if it was a goal, but it was a dream. And then I stayed there for 4.5 years. Allie and I were both top 100 trainers out of like 3,000 trainers. I was like number 33 by the last year I was there, and then COVID hit. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna quit Equinox. I took like a corporate role for a little bit and independently trained a little bit, and hated corporate. Went to a new gym in Chicago. It was a local one where it's one owner had 10 locations. I ramped up pretty quickly. It was, again, like 6 months I got to that full-time status. After about a year of being there, Ellie and I were like, what if we moved to a new city? We want to start a family at some point. We just got married. We want to buy a home. And then what if we try to open a gym somewhere? So I asked the gym owner, and I've asked other managers and sales managers and all these people, what does your day-to-day look like? What's the systems of what you have to do? How does your bonus structure work? How does your pay work? Just gathering all the information, talking to the gym owner, like, what should I know if I'm going to open a new gym? I can't replicate what you're doing. I got to do something of my own, but at least give me the basics or the bare bones. And then I still had to do a lot more research after that. We left Chicago, moved here in like January of 2023. I think it is. Was it 2020? Yeah, 2023. So 3 years ago, I was like, I need to make a presence here. I started independently training. I was doing mitts and pads mainly because that was just I saw no one doing that here. I learned how to Instagram market myself, which is super basic. Like I don't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
But it's built my clientele so quick. Like within 6 months, again, got up to 100 sessions in a month, selling at least $100 or more. And I only emphasize that because that's what I think makes a trainer a very strong trainer, if they can do something like that and then sustain it. I'm sure other trainers are going to disagree, so can't wait to hear from you. But anyway, so we got to there. We were at Rumble for a little bit. I did that for a year, and then Allie and I stumbled on our gym location, and they're asking for a very fair rate, and it sped up our process of should we get this started. We had some people that wanted to invest in us previously, some family, some clients, some friends, like all sorts of people. So we really started making our business plan. And then we pitched it to the investor, had to do a lot of tweaks and a lot of talks. After that, pretty much was like, let's go see the space. We tried to make sure the financials made sense. We had a big idea originally. We had to shrink it down to what we thought would be manageable as new gym owners that weren't starting with $1 million plus. Raised quite a bit of money for it, and then submitted an LOI. We made some adjustments. We did a lot of redlining in the contracts, and fast forward to October of 2024, we opened the gym. Right now it's 2026, so it's been a year and some change. And it's been smooth sailing.
It's crazy. It feels like it just opened a few months ago.
Yeah, dude, it flies. And when you were saying that 1 year, how much you learn, I feel like I've become so much more business savvy and knowledgeable at this point. And, I don't have all the answers. We're doing well. We're profiting as a gym.
You have a few more of the answers than you did when you first opened.
Yeah, and I don't know a lot of, this is one thing Ellie and I are proud of. I don't know a lot of gym owners that can say they're profiting within 1 year's time. We started breaking even at 8 months, 9 months. I forget what it was, which was in line with what our plan was, our pro forma. But last month in December, that was by far our highest profit month. Yeah. And this month in January is looking to be that or better already, just based on so many numbers and metrics of members, personal training, all the other things that go into it. So, yeah, man, it's been a crazy journey. Yeah. And to think I just was going to go to the military, and here we are. Yeah. Or attempted to.
Yeah. Oro is doing really well. It's cool to have a part of that, at least on the social media side of it. Yeah. To see how it's grown. Yeah, time flies.
Dude, it's crazy.
The fact that just the start, whenever I started going to QCA was 3 years ago. Yeah. Is unreal.
I mean, we started QCA June of 2023.
Yeah, so it's coming up on 3 years.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years later this year, which is crazy because it started with 9 people, and now it's the channel and the broadcast.
It's consistently 150 people there at each event.
Yeah, right? They all at least signed up, and then if someone's hungover, they back out. Yeah, I guess. But the channel has 420 people. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's once a month. It's super manageable. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed every second of it. So, yeah, and I guess the reason why we wanted to start this podcast is because you and I have met so many people in the business realm, the creator realm, some people in high-level professional work that are just not only big names, but some of them are just local people doing really cool things.
Yeah, and that's where the hidden gems are. It's the small businesses who are absolutely crushing.
Yeah, and everyone cheers on the big names, the influencers. It's there's a lot of really cool people, businesses, concepts that are here. Why would we not highlight them?
Yeah, and with Charlotte growing as quick as it is, a lot of people are coming up pretty quickly. So it's having the opportunity to bring them in and have a conversation and kind of hear more of their story, like ours, is just a cool way to grow a network and just learn. Yeah. And just chat about life. I think a lot of business owners, really people in general, they only show the highlights of their lives. So bringing them on here to have the opportunity to talk about the behind the scenes is what we hope to do.
Yeah. So, and I know there's a lot of smoke and mirrors on Instagram. Everyone makes it look like sunshine and rainbows all the time. And
yeah, it's a lie.
Yeah, right. I've been able to talk with a bunch of business owners and gym owners currently, and they're yeah, dude, this happened, and I won't share anyone's dirty tea until they jump on it if they want to share it. But you hear these stories, and I'm like, geez, I thought.
Like we had a bad.
Yeah, and honestly, I've never even we've been like smooth sailing. Someone stole their HVAC once, and I swear every gym owner has an HVAC issue. It breaks, someone steals it, something. And I keep hearing the story, so it's not just me. But yeah, man, that was like a month of a headache, and for some people it takes even longer. But yeah, you hear all these stories, and I'm like, if someone wants to start a business, whether it's the gym industry or whether it's photography, videography,
or anything,
hopefully this gives you a little insight of like, how did some people start? Yeah. Where can you start? What are some questions you should start thinking about and asking?
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to, you could reach out to any of us, like, us too, and then anyone else that comes on the guest list, I'm sure would be very open and willing to share their details. But yeah, at least gives you some mindset of like, hey, I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have to have everything, but I need something.
Yeah.
And then get the concept and start running, and hopefully that inspires someone to do some cool things here.
Yeah. And even if we don't have answers, it's still fun to sit here and shoot the shit about struggles. So, because I have no answers.
Yeah, right. I only know what I know, and I don't know a lot.
Just absolutely winging it.
Yeah.
What we say earlier, just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, right.
And that's what this whole like first year and a half for me has been.
I'm just being a chameleon, you know what I mean? I'm like, I can
just
manage and do it all.
Absolute hardest, dude.
Yeah.
Just to keep my head above water every day.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, so I can't wait to start bringing people in and hearing their stories. I know we already have a couple ideas of who we want to invite on.
I think the first real episode, other than these introductions, is going to be your wife, Allie, who you co-own Aura with. My wife. And kind of like, I think it's a fun dynamic to get into. It's like not only being like co-business owners, but also like living together. And like hearing some of the backstory of like how you guys balance the work life, you know, thing. So
I won't share too much because I'll wait till she's on, but I'm sure she could tear into me about a lot.
I'm sure she's trying to run her mouth. So.
Yeah, she's gonna be like this idiot. Like, she's probably wanted to punch me 20 times. And
so maybe I'll sit between you two while we have the conversations.
I was thinking about that. I was like, do I sit over here this time and she's over here?
I'll
like,
sit you guys.
I was like, I don't know if we should sit as a couple. Yeah,
might just end up being a couples therapy session.
We might need it. So. No, we're doing great.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun to talk to Allie.
I'm curious. I have one question for you, and I don't know if this will be something I'll ask everyone, but for where you're at right now, do you feel like you're successful?
No.
No?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet.
When do you think you'll feel like you're successful? What's that marker for you? I feel like some people would like look at this and be like, wait, you're doing things, you're getting contracts with businesses you're in the realms that you want to be in. Yeah,
but I'm still like winging it, right? Like I still feel like every month is like something new. I don't know. I don't think there's ever like there's no like monetary value. Like, maybe some people would make like a monetary value success, but like I think that in the creative field there is. Let me think how to say this. There's no like end goal, right? There's no like once I achieve this, I will stop doing this, right? Like I plan to do this until I'm in the ground, right? Like I want to be able to like maybe like we'll say like have my own movie in theaters, something like that would be sweet, right? Or like have a big like narrative film come out and it do well. Maybe that's success, right? But then like if that ever happens, I'd want to do it again, right? I think just like success for me is just like be able to do this for forever. Like the day you put me in the ground, if I was like creating up to that day, that's success. You know?
You'd be like 90 years old still doing
just
this?
Fucking kicking it. Yeah. Awesome. And the director's chair just being like, move the light over
like
there.
Barely carrying your own equipment or have someone carry it for you.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's success. When I don't have to carry my own light stands. Yeah. Someone else is carrying my C stands, that's success.
Yeah. I mean, I'll start carrying it now.
Yeah, there you go. That's great. Yeah. Okay, I'm successful then. That's I don't know. There's no end goal. It's just I just want to do this and like survive, you know? So I'm not no house, I have a girlfriend, chilling. I have everything that I need. I can eat, you know? So what about you? What is your idea, your perfect definition of your success? Or do you think that you're successful right now?
I think in ways. So I think it's, obviously there's levels to success. So on the beginner entry level, I think we're doing great. So I would call that a success. I mean, I know a lot of trainers that say they want to open their own gym. Never happens. I remember the day that we announced we were opening a gym, people in Chicago were like, holy shit, you're doing it. Like we all, like a lot of people, not and we all, but a lot of people say they want to open a gym and then it just never happens because the idea, the financials, whatever it is, maybe just the step to do it, like they just can't. And we, you know, I really focused as much as I could to get all the information I could to feel as confident as possible to take that leap. And for everyone else listening, you know, your confidence comes from whatever you need to have all the right information and probably experience to do that. And obviously having a good plan is extremely helpful. But, you know, on the entry level side, yeah, I feel like we're successful. You know, we're profiting as a gym and we actually had a pretty good profit last month. So I don't know a lot of businesses that are comfortable saying that or can say that within 1 year's time, especially in the gym space. Gym space is normally it's on average they say it's like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, this is based on quick research on Google, but yeah. So on that standpoint, I would say yes. You know, we have so many future goals and big things we want to do, and I think we'll probably talk about that next when Allie's here. In life, I mean, shoot, I'm married and have 2 super cute kids, a really good-looking wife. You know, she's beautiful, and have a house, have a second. We're building a house now, so we'll end up selling one and moving, and we can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
so
when's that gonna be done?
they're saying June. I'm saying October.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know
Always
how
takes
construction
longer.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if they don't know a delay until a delay happens. So I'm
Yeah.
like, let's not get our hopes up.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing that I'm like. I mean, again, we traveled the world. We got to do really cool things. I got to meet really cool people, and yeah, I don't know. Life's good, so I
Yeah.
feel like that's successful.
Yeah. I think there's a like, yes, like I said, success is different for everybody. I think there's a difference in stability and success.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that I'm stable, but not successful.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you say you're stable and successful? Or would you say you're more stable than successful?
Probably more stable than successful, only
Yeah.
because of the aspirations that we have
Right.
for the next level of success that I think will bring more stability, don't get me wrong, but also like
More fulfillment.
more fulfillment, more confidence, and like
Yeah.
again, I've been able to do things currently that couldn't have done a year ago. But I feel like in 1 to 2 more years, the avenue is going to open even more opportunities are going to come. So
Have you hit that plateau that we were talking about earlier? You think you guys have plateaued at all in the growth of Oro?
no,
No,
not at all.
still
I think we're snowballing at this point.
Yeah.
So it was steady growth with a couple peaks and maybe like 1 dip month. Like it was not like we didn't have, and it would be like a net 0 or -1, not like a net -20.
Right, yeah.
In terms of memberships in and out or whatever the case may be.
Which is like ideal.
Yeah, right. And that's why I think was, such a confidence builder for us. But at this point, it seems like we're now getting traction. We're a year in, a year plus in. Marketing wise, we kind of know what's hitting or what we should be aiming for. We're going to experiment some things too. We feel a little bit more business savvy, and not only in the events that we do, in the promotions that we might run, in the way that we describe Oro to attract the right people. Like at first, I think we tried to do a little bit more of a catch-all, and then we started to really
Narrow in
on
like niche
who our
down to
prime
who you want,
demographic
yeah.
is. And that seems to be working.
Yeah.
But we still have room to grow, and we're not at capacity yet. I think when we get to capacity, which might be 150 more members, somewhere around there, which we could do in a year's time, we could do in a year and a half, we could do in 2 years' time. I don't know exactly when that'll be. And I'm hoping that by that point, we're already prepping for some sort of expansion.
Yeah.
That's like the next
yeah.
hope for
Getting
us.
expansion for Oro would be sweet. I'm excited for that.
Something that we're already toggling the idea. It's in the back of the mind and going to probably come to the forefront sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, won't share too many details on that just yet.
For sure.
But,
Sick.
yeah, man.
Dope. It's cool.
First time, first episode. Here we are.
More coming.
See you soon.